And now to the other war, which does not get the same amount of news media attention, the war in Afghanistan, where just today a suicide bomber killed 8 people in an area near the southern border with Pakistan, controlled by the Taliban, which has made a major comeback this year. NBC News correspondent Jim Maceda has been on the front lines of this fight at a forward operating base in southeast Afghanistan.
Above these ridges, U.S. helicopters search for a new wave of Taliban fighters entering eastern Afghanistan from neighboring Pakistan. On the ground, deep in Kunar province, Charlie Company, 1st Battalion, 32nd Regiment, sitting right on the infiltration route and determined to stop them.
We definitely see the Pakistan influence. We hear it in the language that the enemy uses, and we know that's where a lot of the weapons come from.
We had a tick yesterday, about 1,500.
The 132's intelligence intercepts also say that a winter cell, or fresh group of al-Qaeda commanders, is now in place, preparing to direct the fight throughout the normally quiet winter months. Facing them here, about 60 U.S. soldiers in a small outpost. Surrounded by hostile high ground, the 132 uses other eyes, like this Raven or unmanned aerial vehicle, to scout behind the ridges.
We get intel reports, and we can kind of fly it to the designated areas that we see and be able to get a better view of actually if in fact the intel is correct.
And they use high-tech scanners in pitch dark.
Most of the intel we receive is that they move at night.
Many of these hunters are Iraq War vets who thought Afghanistan would be easier. But as this video shot by the soldiers themselves shows, they were wrong. This, one of 42 firefights since May, was an unprecedented daytime attack. The enemy, they say, is getting bolder, and U.S. casualties are mounting. With 18 killed and dozens wounded, no other battalion has been hit harder. It's not what they or families back home expected.
They think it's not hostile out here. And then when you get phone calls, you're like, yeah, I'm doing good. You don't want to tell them.
We come in quick, we come in fast, and we hit them.
Some villagers here are starting to cooperate, giving tips to the 132 on Taliban movements. Others are not. By day, Afghans in this village welcome U.S. forces, but at night, the same villagers harbor al-Qaeda-linked fighters, according to U.S. military intelligence. The 132 has superior firepower, artillery, and airstrikes at its disposal. But this night alone, their patrols were hit 6 times.
Can you give me a estimated location for the enemy?
This hot zone is getting hotter. Jim Maceda, NBC News, with U.S. troops in eastern Afghanistan.